have a pyramid today. We're going to find the surface area of its base, and then all the lateral faces, and add them together. This net, when I fold it up, I get a square pyramid. The surface area would be the area of all of its surfaces. What are the surfaces in shapes? Triangles and a. So if we wanted to, we could find the area of this square, find the area of the triangles, and then do what with them? Add them together. Okay? You can do that. It's called using a net. You'd find the area of all of the polygons that make the polyhedron and add them together. I'm going to show you the formula that you can use today. To recap here, your vertex, that's the point at which all the lateral faces meet, way at the top. Lateral edge on these suckers, those are the green strings. They're lateral edges. Lateral face, that'd be the triangles that are made right here with the green strings in the base. This is your base, it's a hexagon. This is a base edge. The altitude of a pentagon, or excuse me, of a pyramid, or the height of the pyramid, goes from the vertex to the center of the base. So on all these pyramids, it's the rods, those gold rods. That's the height of the pyramid. That's how tall it is. From the vertex to the center. This is right in the middle. Then we have a new term, the slant height. The slant height is labeled with a lowercase cursive L, because slant has an L in it, so they use L. Okay? That's this red string. The slant height is the red string up here. Which is going to be longer, the height of the pyramid or the slant height? The slant height will. Your slant height will always be longer. This pyramid, the height would be the toothpick, if I could put a toothpick from the vertex straight down to the middle. The slant height is this line that I drew in. Can you see that line? That's the slant height. It's not straight, it's slanted. Okay, the slant height is slanted. They didn't get very creative with the name. By definition, the slant height is the height of this triangle. So when I lay it flat, it doesn't look slanted, but when you fold it up, the height of that triangle is now slanted because the triangle's at a slant. On here, the slant height is the height of this triangle, this face right here. Okay? So if I wanted to find the area of this triangle, I take 1/2 the base times its height, the slant height, the red string. And I would do it for this side, and 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 then I'd add them all together, and that would give me my lateral area. They are all equal. Unless it's a rectangular pyramid, you have 2 triangles and 2 triangles. Do you see that? Okay, good observation. I don't know if you can see it from here or not. Do you see this green line that goes from the center to the vertex? What's that called? Radius, good. How about the red one that goes from the center to the side? Apothem. The apothem, the height, and the slant height make a what? A right triangle. Today, you'll have a problem that might say the apothem is 3, the height is 4, and you're going to have to find the slant height. What would you use to find the slant height? Pythagorean theorem, you would do 3 squared plus 4 squared equals L squared, and then you would solve for L. Okay, so you are going to need to use that today. Don't forget it. Lateral area is the area of the lateral faces. So on a pyramid, it's all the triangles that go around. The surface area then would be all those triangles plus the one base. Here's your formulas. To find the lateral area, this is like 2/3 down your paper. It's 1/2 P times L. P is the perimeter of the base, same as it is on prisms. Yes, just one base. Well, and pyramids only have one, but yes. And then L is the slant height. So to find the lateral area, the area of all the triangles, you're going to take 1/2 the perimeter plus U times the slant height. Surface area below that is lateral area plus B. Why isn't it 2B? Because there's only one base. Okay? The little L thing means slant height. And it's always the slanted segment. Okay, number 1 at the very bottom. Yours kind of got cut off, but I don't think enough to have that you can't do the problem. Number 1 says find the lateral area and surface area of the square pyramid with base edges 7.5 and a slant height of 12. Lateral area of a pyramid, 1/2 PL. Surface area equals LA plus B. The more you write those down, the more you're going to remember them. After you write them down, then you know what you have to find. You have to find P, L, and big B. Sure thing. Veronica, what's P stand for? Good. What's the shape of this base on this pyramid? It's a square. It tells us that right here. It's a square pyramid. So, Veronica, how would I find the perimeter of that square? What? How do you find perimeter? You add all the sides up, right? Perimeter of the base. So 7.5 plus 7.5 plus 7.5 plus 7.5, or 7.5 times 4. Did you get 30? Good. P is always perimeter of the base, this chapter. And P stands for. Emma, what's the little cursive L stand for? What's the slant height? 12, good. They tell us in the directions it's 12, and then it's pointing to the slanted segment. Colleen, what's big B stand for? Area of the base. What's the shape of the base? So how do I find the area of that square? Yeah, which I'm going to multiply 7.5 times what? And what do you get? 56.25. Once you have your B, your P, and your L, then you substitute them into your two formulas. Lateral area is 1/2 the perimeter, 30, times the slant height, 12. 30 times 12 is 360. What's half of 360? 180. So the lateral area, the 4 triangles, would equal 180 square feet. I don't know, it's kind of the same, I guess. Lateral area, surface area is the lateral area, 180, plus how many bases? 1. So I'm going to add 56.25. 236.25 feet squared. So that's the total surface area and your lateral area. Again, formulas are supposed to be shortcuts. Area of the base, yep. So my base is a square. So I take 7.5 times 7.5. So find the lateral area and surface area of this pyramid. Pyramid lateral area, 1/2 PL. Surface area, lateral area plus 1 base. Once you write your formulas down, you know the 3 things you have to find. You have to find P, you have to find L, and you have to find big B. It says to round your answer to the nearest whole number. Round at the end. Okay, keep it in square roots until the very end. To the right of the picture, and it's kind of labeled, it says the height is 20. The height goes from the vertex to the middle of the base. The apothem is 4 square root 3. That goes from the middle to the side. Okay. Are either of those two my slant height? No, because your slant height is the slanted segment that's there for you. How are we going to find the slant height? Pythagorean theorem. We're going to use the Pythagorean theorem. We're going to go 4 square root 3 squared plus 20 squared equals L squared. Do you agree with that equation? Brady, what's it mean to square something? Okay, so Rain, what's 4 times 4? Rain, what's the square root of 3 times the square root of 3? What's 16 times 3? 48. So when you square 4 square root 3, you should get 48, not 12. Whoever said that, watch your parentheses on your calculator. What's 20 squared? 400. So then we get L squared to equal 448. Yes?
Yeah.
Square root it. I don't think it comes out nice. Okay, we're going to keep them in radicals until the end. So we're going to simplify this down. Try 16. I'm pretty sure 16. 48 times? 28 times. Square root of 16 times the square root of 28. What's the square root of 16? 4. Is there a perfect square that goes into 28? Oh, how many times? 7 times. What's the square root of 4?
2.
So we get 4 times 2 times the square root of 7. So our slant height is 8 square root 7. That's our L. That's our slant height. Okay. To find my perimeter in my area, I need to know the side length of my hexagon. So I'm just going to take half of the hexagon and redraw it. And put in the apothem, which is 4 square root 3. Okay, now you're going back to last chapter to find the side length. Put in the radii. Here's one, here's the other one. From radius to radius, that's called a central angle. 360 divided by 6 is 60. What's the apothem do to that? Cuts it in half. So this is going to be 30 up there, which means this one down here has to be good. So right now, Sid, I'm looking at this triangle to find my side length. My apothem is across from the 60, so what leg is it, Sid? The long leg. And I'm trying to find this one down here. What leg is that, Sid? The short leg. And way back in chapter 8, we learned the long leg equals the short leg times what? Square root 3. Good. So then I'm going to say 4 square root 3 equals x times the square root of 3. You agree? Divide by the square root of 3, Sid. And what do we get for x? 4. So the short leg is 4, which means the side length of my hexagon is what? 8. Kylie, if the side length of my hexagon is 8, what's the perimeter? Yeah, because it's a hexagon, so I have 6 sides that are 8, so I get a perimeter of 48. Shai, how do you want to find the area of the hexagon now for big B? Like that thing down there? Okay. Then what do you want to do with that? That's as far as you got? Okay. Do you remember, Shai, we have 2 different ways that we can find the area of a regular hexagon. Do you remember either of the 2 formulas for a regular hexagon? How about for any regular polygon, what was the rule? 1/2. Do you want to phone a friend? Riley? And then do what with it? Yeah, because there's 6 of those triangles, right? Okay. That was this rule. 6 times side squared square root 3 over 4. Then the other one, for any regular polygon, 1/2 apothem times perimeter. So you could use either of these 2 to find the area of the hexagon. If you're going to do this one, what should I plug in for my S? 8. Good. So then you would do 8 squared, square root 3 over 4 times 6. If I want to use this one, 1/2, what's our apothem? 4 square root 3. And what did we just get for our perimeter? 48. Both of these, when you simplify them, get you 96 square root 3. Okay? Two different ways to find the area of a regular hexagon. 1/2 apothem perimeter, or 6 times side squared square root 3 over 4. You can pick. When you simplify either of those, you get 96 square root 3, though. You guys, none of this is new. We did all this before. The new part is now taking those values and plugging them into the formula. Okay? Lateral area. 1/2 the perimeter times the slant height. I can't remember because it scrolled it. What's the perimeter? 48. What do we get for that slant height? Root square root 7, right? 1/2 of 48 is 24. What's 24 times 8? Thanks. So the slant height, or excuse me, the lateral area is 192 square root 7. I'm just going to leave it like that. I don't need my calculator right now. Surface area is the lateral area, 192 square root 7. Those are all the triangles. Plus how many bases? 1, which we said was 96 square root 3. Correct? Okay. If I said give me the exact area, which I will do tomorrow on your worksheet, you'd stop there. You can't add the square root of 7 and the square root of 3 because they're different square roots. This thing says round it to the nearest whole number, so what you're going to have to do is plug that in the calculator and round it. Anyone do that yet? 674? You can only add things when they have the same square root or they both have a square root. Yes? And like the next one, so do the next one. The Pythagorean theorem. Okay, did you use the little red triangle that I had up here? Okay. So 8 squared, right? Plus what? Good, 6 squared. This is half of the length of the side. Don't put 12 in there because 12 goes all the way across. Equals L squared. 64 and 36, so you got 100 to equal L squared, Rashid? Yeah. What'd you get for your slant height then? 10. Awesome. Slant height is 10. Dylan, what's P stand for? Perimeter of the base. Good, Dylan, it's a square, so how are we going to find the perimeter? And 12 times 4 is 48. Awesome. Wegley, what's big B stand for? What about the base? How are you going to find the area of that square? And what's base times height? 144. Good. There are your 3 values. From here, it's how well you substitute. Lateral area equals 1/2 the perimeter times the slant height. So you should get 240 centimeters squared. Do you agree? Lateral area, those 4 triangles going around it. Surface area, the 4 triangles, 240, plus how many bases? 1. It's a pyramid, so you should get 384 centimeters squared. Agree? Okay. Questions? All right.